What's up guys, my name is Kalrus and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be discussing the viability of Fury Warrior Trinkets in patch 7.2. Hands up, our best single target trinket is the Draught of Souls. To illustrate my point, here is the simulation sheet taken from Argenteros' 7.2 guide on MMO Champion. I do not take credit for spending probably hours simming all the different variations, so thank him, not me. I'll leave his post in the description box below so you guys can check it out. That being said, I have to emphasize that this sheet does not take item level into consideration. This assumes all trinkets are 890 item level, besides the KJBW Burning Wish, which is only obtainable at 940 item level due to it being a legendary. It's also a single target simulation, meaning that trinkets that deal damage to more than one target or provide some sort of a buff to your character's throughput become a lot more impactful in multi-target scenarios. Considering how KJBW's Burning Wish is a legendary and whether or not you get one is gated behind RNG, I'll talk about the other ones first. So TLDR, the trinket you want to go along with Draught of Souls for single target damage, is Convergence of Fates. One thing to keep in mind about this trinket is that the equip effect is static, no matter the item level. So the difference between an LFR version and Mythic is only the minuscule amount of strength. In regards to the unstable Arcana Crystal, I again feel like emphasizing that this picture assumes all item levels being equal. More often than not, the highest item level trinket you have will be the best one. So keep that in mind. If we look away from the top 3 trinkets, I'd say that the Arcana Crystal is safe to replace if you can get a 15 item level upgrade of any other trinket on this list. As I always recommend though, simming your own character will always give you the most accurate answers for dilemmas like these. Another trinket I feel I need to mention is the Chrono Shard, which holds a lot more value than illustrated in Sims. Not only does it provide you with a movement speed increase, which is actually very underrated, there is also an option to get the 2-piece bonus, which increases the haste proc by another 1000. The nice thing about this 2-piece is that the neck actually has decent itemization with versatility and mastery, which are my character's most preferred stats at the moment. So if you could pick up both of these at a relatively high item level, Chrono Shard can be really good. Chrono Shard also works differently than trinkets such as Ursoc's Rending Paw or the Chaos Talisman, in that it provides a throughput increase on multi-target as well. In regards to the legendary trinket, it is important to remember that it not only takes up one of your 2 legendary slots, it also takes up a trinket slot, which is indeed very valuable for Fury Warriors due to how many buffs we can stack with the effect. Because of this, I honestly don't recommend using this trinket unless there's really infrequent, short-lived ad spawns, or you simply don't have a better option. That being said, Blizzard have stated that they are not happy with how Draught of Souls and Convergence of Fates are essentially mandatory for some classes. I therefore would not be surprised if a nerf to both of these trinkets are on the horizon. If this nerf goes through, the legendary trinket might prove to be a viable option for a lot more scenarios. Now, let's talk about how we can abuse all these trinkets and others to get the full benefit from them. The first trinket I'm going to talk about is the Draught of Souls. This trinket should always be used with Battlecry, unless of course boss mechanics dictate otherwise. An example of a situation where you don't want to use the trinket with Battlecry is phase 1 on Gul'dan Mythic, where you'll instead want to use it with the fresh Enrage, Frothing Berserker, Avatar, and if possible extra action button buff right before the ice spawn, as you'll spend your Battlecry on Odin's Fury and Whirlwinds instead, assuming you have the legendary belt. Another example would be Scorpion, where you can use this trinket during his weakened phase. Your cast priority during Battlecry will remain the same as I covered in my 7.2 Fury Warrior guide, but Draught of Souls is now your first priority, assuming you'll be enraged for the entirety of its duration, which is of course 3 seconds. A typical opener would therefore look like this: cooldowns and Rampage, Draught, Raging Blow, and Bloodthirst. If you have around 30% haste, the 4-piece from Nighthold, and are either A, lusting on pull, or B, have War Machine up, you can get a bit freaky with this opener, although it requires experience to know when you can pull it off or not. The opener that I'm talking about is pop your cooldowns and Rampage simultaneously, hit Raging Blow, Draught of Souls, hit Raging Blow again, and Bloodthirst. Sometimes, due to the legendary head and variations in the swing timer, you might find yourself overcapping on Rage and can replace that Bloodthirst with a Rampage. To preemptively answer the question that most of you guys will want to ask, which is how long should I delay Draught for BC and vice versa? I can't answer this specifically as it depends on a lot of different factors. However, I usually play by the rule to delay Draught for Battlecry, not the other way around, as I have 3 Battlecry relics and Convergence Fates. If you also have this, getting as many battle cries as possible is of the utmost importance. If you don't, I'd say that you could delay battle cry a maximum of 10 seconds if it's to line up with draft or avatar. Never anything more than that, unless once again boss mechanics dictate otherwise. In regards to convergence, try never to delay your battle cry as you'll be losing the benefit of potential procs by doing so. Just get used to the fact that not all battle cries will have Draft of Souls or Odin's Fury available to them. Instead, follow the single target priority as usual, which you can find specific information about in my 7.2 Fury Warrior guide. Essentially, all other unused trinkets such as Might of Croesus or Windscar Wet Zone should be lined up with cooldowns when possible. There's not much more to say about it. Fury is all about burst days expansion and your goal is always to stack as many buffs as possible. This is also the reason as to why we benefit so much from active trinkets compared to other classes. Due to the nature of the legendary trinket, I'll also briefly go over how to utilize the Kill Jaden's Burning Wish for maximum DPS. This trinket works differently than all the other trinkets in game, whereas it does not benefit from damage increases such as Enrage or Avatar. There is currently a bug in the game though, where it actually does increase damage during Battlecry due to our unrivaled strength rate. It does not however benefit from any additional Battlecry relics you might have. So while it does indeed simulate better this way, I recommend just to use it on cooldown. Getting an extra application is far better than the extra damage it provides during Battlecry. You do however want to delay it if it can hit multiple targets, but in which case you're probably already delaying Battlecry accordingly, so they'll just line up naturally. TLDR, I recommend not to pay too much attention to this, just use it on cooldown or whenever there are extra adds up. Before I end this video, I'm going to leave you guys with a short list of trinkets that I personally use on a daily basis. 1. Draft of Souls for most raid encounters and bosses in Mythic Plus. 2. Windscar Wet Zone and Kill Jaden's Burning Wish for high level Mythic Plus, whereas AoE burst is required. 3. Claw of the Crystalline Scorpion for AoE heavy raid encounters, or in Mythic Plus whenever Windscar Wet Zone and Kill Jaden's Burning Wish is on cooldown and we're not going to pull a boss. Terrorbound Nexus is a great alternative to this if you have trouble positioning yourself to hit all the targets. Lastly, the Convergence of Fates. I pretty much use this for all content, whether it be single target, cleave, or AoE. As a last advice, if you're looking to push your DPS in Mythic Plus that extra bit further, make sure you take advantage of the ability to swap trinkets in between trash packs and plan beforehand as to let that 30-second global trinket cooldown expire before an active trinket needs to be used. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, I'll see ya.